I walked into The Long Walk, pun intended, with honestly pretty low expectations. I didn't think it would work as a horror movie. And to be honest, it didn't. But it worked as a thriller slash drama, and it worked incredibly well. What surprised me the most about this film is how deeply it explores its themes. One of the greatest strengths in this movie is the friendship between Ray Garrity and Peter McVries. And the conversations that they have. They go into deep subjects. And I was not expecting that from a horror movie, let alone this movie. And their friendship is honestly one of the best friendships I've seen in a while in cinema. Like, oh my goodness. It seems genuine, which is sometimes hard to make genuine relationships feel genuine in movies. The film does a fantastic job at making the audience feel the weight of each individual death, even for the characters who only appear briefly on screen, or even the ones that we don't really see at all. But especially the ones we get to know, that cuts deep. Well, I did see the ending coming with Peter surviving and Ray not, and like one of them sacrificing the other. It still carried a ton of emotional weight. And him just standing in the rain, with the rain coming down his face. Wow. And him walking off in the distance, that hit hard. Okay, I'll say the casting and performances are excellent. Both the casting for all the characters, the performance from everybody, like none of the characters seem dull at all. Only one maybe slightly to me is the Major. I didn't love as much as the other characters, but each of the characters seem to be acted very well, written very well, and you seem to care about each individual character, even if you don't specifically like them. Like the ones that are kind of mean or whatever, you still feel for them, even though they're not the best person. You still feel for them. Cooper Hoffman as Ray Garrity was incredible. He did so well. But David Johnson as Peter McVries, I think, did even better. And if he's considered a supporting actor, I would honestly argue that he could win supporting actor of the year. He acts so well. He honestly carries the film. Not to say that the other people don't carry their own weight, they do, but he is the driving. Now, I don't even know if you would necessarily consider him a supporting actor, or if you would consider him a co-star. He was incredible. I heard that Stephen King said that if they weren't gonna show the deaths, that he doesn't even want his book to be adapted, and that was the right call. Showing the deaths instead of just them happening off screen, because you see it that much more. And to me, this is not a horror movie. This is more of a thriller along the lines of Jaws, where really the only thing is it's suspense and gore. A few negatives for me is there's a little too much swearing, in my opinion. I mean, I understand why people will put swearing in movies, and that's fine, whatever, but I felt like it was overused, the amount of swearing. But that's just me. And the story was a little bland, and the plot was a little bland, but it was very well written. The way the film was written and they did a very good job with that. I don't think they could have done any better. But just the whole premise and story was just a little bland. Alright, now it's time for the rating. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Dude, this was a good movie. They did a good job at putting the audience on the walk, as if making you feel like you're walking alongside them. You get to know this character, mainly the two main ones. And once again, how much you feel the depth of the characters. That's my biggest thing. You feel the depths. Great movie. Pleasant surprise. I wouldn't be mad at other people giving it an 8 or an 8.5. I was very tempted to give it an 8 or 8.5, but I'm sticking with 7.5. And that was the review. I'm curious about your thoughts. Feel free to let me know down in the comments below. And that's the video. All right, toodaloos.